with Justin and Andy Murray.
Your mother, pretty impressive as a single mother raising two professional athletes. She has a strong opinions and a strong personality. She's become a big figure in British tennis. What did she impart on you that enabled you to achieve what you do?
One of the most important things with her when we were growing up and playing was literally to have fun on the court. And now, look, it probably doesn't seem like I'm having much fun. There's a lot more pressure and stress now. But when I was growing up as a kid, I used to love going on the court with my mum. I used to love being on the court with my brother and practicing. We just had fun. And if we didn't want to play, we didn't play. It was like, you know, a couple of times I stopped playing tennis for, you know, a few weeks and months at a time to play football or soccer. My brother did the same with golf. And there was never any pressure on us to play. And I think that was, when we were kids growing up, that was the most important thing. And then since we've got older, obviously she wants both of us to win, but she doesn't really care that much, you know, so long as we're okay. You know, if I lose, sometimes she sees me really upset after Grand Slam finals and stuff, and she just wants me to be okay. And so that's been nice to have a bit of perspective that it's just tennis at the end of the day.
What about the role of your father?
He's been very, very important as well, and
probably underratedly so, right?
Yeah.
He's not acknowledged nearly.
No, because obviously, you know, my mum was a tennis coach, so it's normal. But the sacrifices that the parents need to make, you know, to have their kids become top tennis players, is pretty significant. And you know, my dad worked a 9-to-5 job, Monday to Friday, and then at the weekends, me and my brother grew up in Scotland. There's never any tournaments in Scotland at all, so we always had to go down to England to play in the tournaments, and you know, it's 5-6 hour drives, 10-hour drives sometimes at the weekends, you know. And I'm sure my dad, at the end of a long week working, you know, they didn't necessarily want to have to do that. They probably would have liked to have relaxed and not had to take us along and watch us play in these tournaments, but you know, they did.
That emotional release after you lost the finals of Wimbledon in 2012 against Roger really seemed to be a catalyst over the next couple months with you breaking through, winning the Olympics and the US Open. What was it about revealing that side of you that helped you break through?
I don't know exactly. The one thing I remember after Wimbledon was I played well in the Wimbledon final, and I came off the court. I was really upset for quite a few days afterwards. The crying didn't just stop on the court, it went on. A few days after it, when I started to think about the match and stuff, I didn't regret how I'd played in the match. You know, in the finals in Australia, when I'd lost to Novak in straight sets, I was disappointed with myself, and it took me like a few months to recover. Whereas after that Wimbledon loss, whether it's to do with, you know, letting out the emotions or just the fact that I felt like I'd played a good match and done myself justice, the next time I got on the practice court, I was playing well straight away. There was no sort of hangover from that final, and I had the Olympics coming up. And when I played the Olympics before in Beijing, I lost in the first round, and I was really, really disappointed with myself because I kind of got swept up with just being involved in the Olympics, and I was wanting to meet all of the athletes and go to the opening ceremony, and I took my eye off what I was there to actually try and do. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't let that happen again, because you don't get many opportunities to play in the Olympics. And after that Wimbledon, the Olympics was just around the corner. I felt I'd played well in the Wimbledon final. Yeah, it showed people how much it meant to me, and all those things combined made a big difference when I got right back on the practice court, and I worked really, really hard to get ready for the Olympics.
As a result of that, you were given an incredible honor, the Order of the British Empire, and it was Prince William's first in doing that. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was cool. We went to Buckingham Palace, me, my girlfriend, and my parents. Yeah, it's an amazing experience. You meet loads of different people, from, you know, guys that have been in the military to people that have worked in TV and all sorts, and it's a pretty cool thing to do. And obviously, you know, the stuff that you win on the court means a lot, because the work that you put in, sort of, you feel like it pays off. But you know, when you're given an honour like that, it's obviously it's a nice way to finish off the year.
You've opened up and given more access to you recently. You had incredibly successful documentary that was very well received. And now you've recently come out with a book. Is there anything in that process that you learned about yourself?
The documentary, I'd been asked to do that for about 18 months, and I was like, no chance, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And the guy who does my PR stuff, Matt, he was saying, no, I think it'd be a good thing for you to do, be good. And because when you talk about a documentary, I'm thinking sort of like the Kardashians, and I'm like, I don't want people in my bedroom, I don't want people in my house, you know, I just didn't want to do it. And then over time I met some of the people who were going to be involved in the documentary, and I really liked them, and they didn't get sort of in the way of my training or anything at all. They were just really, really professional, really good, and yeah, it was a good thing. It was a good thing for me to do.
If you could play a dream doubles match with someone and against another team, whom would it be?
In singles, I would love to play against Ivan for obvious reasons, but in doubles, I would have loved to play like McEnroe Connors, just because I think the game was different then. You know, there used to be a bit more sort of, I don't know, trash talking, and you know, the players were a lot sort of louder on the court, and arguments with umpires and and whatnot, and it was a different game really, and I would have been interested to have got involved in some of that.
Looking 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what would you like your legacy to be? What would you be most proud of in your career?
Regardless of how much somebody wins or not, the most important thing I think as an athlete when you finish your career is that they say that you reached your potential. And I use Marion Bartoli as a very good example of that people were shocked that after she retired from Wimbledon, but I've seen the training and stuff that she does, and she worked so hard, so intense for so long that I think she reached her potential, and it was fantastic. And I think as an athlete, that's all you can do. So I hope when I finish playing, yeah, I'm remembered as being a hard worker and someone that actually reached their potential.
Thanks, Andy. Time now for this week's